Hello, and welcome to the AI Marketing Transformation Podcast, hosted by Miguel Machado, CEO and co-founder of OG.ai and Keenfolks, an AI marketing transformation agency. In each episode, we dive into the key challenges and opportunities in marketing, content, and customer experience, exploring how AI integration can drive impactful business results. Hear from top marketing leaders as they share how global brands leverage AI and data to elevate their marketing strategies and customer connections. If you're eager to innovate and stay ahead of industry trends, subscribe and join the AI marketing transformation community.
Hello and welcome to the number 8th episode of the AI Marketing Transformation Podcast. Today, we have a great guest who is a thought leader in digital transformation and AI innovation, Nicolas Babin. Nicolas is a business strategist and recognized as a top 10 thought leader in emerging technology, with an incredible career spanning from Sony's robotic business in Europe to successful IPOs and strategic advisory roles. His background as a serial entrepreneur and executive has transformed startups to multinational tech giants with experience in Asia, North America, and Europe. Welcome to the show, Nicolas.
Thank you very much, Miguel. Really looking forward to this discussion. Thank you.
Fantastic. So it's great to have you here, Nicolas. And before we dive into the main central topic of this conversation, that is going to be the AI agents, I would love to hear a little bit about your journey into AI and digital transformation space. So how did your experience at companies like Sony shape your perspective at foundational technologies like AI?
Yeah, well, Sony has been a fantastic company to work for. I've been really lucky. I started back in 1996. And at the time, or at least the company in Japan, had started to think about the first AI-based robot called Aibo, AIBO for AI, artificial intelligence, and BO for robots. And we launched that first AI robot, but we basically had to start everything from scratch. So when you think about AI at the time, there was no internet, 1996. There was no cloud. So we had to basically invent everything. And it was because we had a fantastic leader at the time called Dr. Doi. He was a Japanese fantastic engineer and scientist who made everything available on memory sticks. You probably remember the memory sticks from late 1990s. So the first AI-based robot was working on a 6 and 8 megabyte memory sticks. So it's what today would be absolutely impossible to think about. But that was the start of working on AI, working on a real-time operating system, working on making a robot move, working on the move itself, working on everything, the camera connected, even though there was barely Wi-Fi. We were just starting with Wi-Fi at the time. Aibo basically had a fantastic vision where they said, we're inventing a robot with AI, but this is not to replace human, this is to augment human. So I've been using this sentence since 1996, and then I became head of AI and robotic for Sony in Europe. And we use that because people were just, very surprised and very scared at the beginning because AI was part of, science fiction type movies. So we launched Aibo. Aibo was a huge success in terms of communication, in terms of image for Sony, and that has helped me to understand basically the technology and the potential of also what we could see in the future. So that's why going forward, I started to work on digital transformation because a digital transformation project in general today is about how to implement AI within a company. Or even for people to understand how AI can help them on a day-to-day basis. But I have to say that up until like 2 years ago, I was really struggling to make people understand the benefits of AI and why AI would help them. And then suddenly a company called OpenAI based in San Francisco launched ChatGPT. And guess what? For the last 2 years, I don't stop. It's like everybody's asking me because now I'm a veteran of AI because all the people before me, they've retired. So I'm still in business because I don't have the age of retirement yet. But at least I've been involved with AI for 29 years. which today is unheard of because most of the people, they studied AI. Um,
Yes, Sony has been a very innovative company since the beginning. It's true that they were not now in this revolution of language models, and it's the one that somehow is giving more reference to
right,
the revolution of AI in nowadays. But
right.
it's great to have your perspective. I think that AI everywhere, because with robots actually this can get really physically, and you can think about all the impact that this can have. And I like also your insight on amplified intelligence, because I believe in that. I believe that AI is not about artificial intelligence, it's much more about amplified intelligence and the capacity to connect with a broader capability than we humans can actually explore. So I think that is a critical point. And on that remark comes the AI agents. Now AI agents that comes now as 2025. I mean, all tech CEOs are coming to place to say, okay, this is it. AI agents is going to be something that will revolutionize the industry. When you see actually some movements of the big tech, you already see that in place. You see Facebook announcement of 5% of decreasing of engineers, and they say relating directly with AI, and the no need of coding as we used to code before. We see as well from Salesforce CEO stating as well, look, there is 20% of capabilities of engineers that we don't need anymore,
Yep.
and we are growing. So this is actually happening. So I would like to have your take. But before having your take on how AI agents are impacting the marketing, I would ask you as well a brief definition on AI agents from your perspective, Nicolas, and then give me a couple of use cases that you see that can be actually transformative for marketing.
So AI agent to me is an evolution. It's not a revolution at all, because from the time you start working on LLMs and you start having those even ChatGPTs, the first type of agents that you could see with ChatGPTs are the GPTs that you could create yourself, and that's
Yes.
in itself an agent. Because to me, an agent is basically a fully autonomous AI-based program. That's simple.
Amazing. And how you see that from a cases point of view coming to life?
Yeah.
So
So
what are the AI use cases that you are really excited with?
basically, with AI agents, they can analyze, vast amounts of customer data to deliver hyper personalized experiences across all the different types of channels that and touch points that you can imagine. So across websites, emails, social media, customer service. So that's where I would see the most. I mean, you mentioned Salesforce and what they do with CRM. That's really something that, in terms of agents, that really I see as the most value that you can give, because it creates engagement, and it creates ways for your company to get closer to the consumers. So with generative AI and agents in particular, companies
Yes.
can create dynamic marketing campaigns. For example, so you asked me for a concrete example. So marketing campaigns that will adapt real time based on user behavior, preferences, and intent. Right. So to me, this is where I would find personally, and that only implies only me, but this is where AI agents will have the most lasting impact, making marketing more context aware, predictive, and customer centric. When I first started in marketing, again with Sony, we used to spray and pray was my word at the time. Because we
Yes.
used to spread the information, hoping, praying that one person will get the message, right? Because
Uh-huh.
we didn't have social media, we didn't have anything. So we had big boards that we put on side of freeways, motorways,
Uh-huh.
and you would get a message there, and you would hope that somebody would get it. So that's why I said it was a spray and pray strategy. Whereas today, this doesn't work anymore, obviously.
Yes.
And so what's important today is really to be able to be customer centric, have personalized and have engaged clients and prospects and community. And that's what's really important. And that's where AI agents to me are really the most beneficial.
Yeah, no, it's incredible because in the last and it's fascinating what you're saying, because I think it's really the evolution from a marketing point of view. So I think that
Absolutely.
there are still things that you invest and you still don't know how it's going to be. I mean, obviously when you invest in a billboard or whatever, but today with the evolution that we are having, I think that it's a game changing and a changer in so many ways. So
Mhm.
I was actually reading, according with the McKinsey latest research, marketing departments that are actually using AI agents for customer segmentation and targeting. That is exactly the point that you are raising. Are seeing up to a 15% higher return on investment on their campaigns, and I think this is going to come more and more frequent, and it's going to be a central part of the competitiveness of the companies. So absolutely align. So given your background and considering that you have both experience on enterprise and also in startup environments, do you see different patterns in these organizations on how they can leverage actually AI agents and deploy it effectively in the organization?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there are two worlds, to be honest with you, because as I mentioned when we first started to answer your questions, when you start up, the only thing that matters is cash. That's the only food that you need in order to make your startup successful. So I advise a lot of startups, and what I tell them to do is, except the ones that are purely focused on AI and have already raised funds and have AI staff. But what I except for those that I just mentioned, what I tell startups is really to start working on low code, no code type of platforms.
Yes.
I advise one called Affinity Initiative, which is a fantastic low code, no code platform
Uh-huh.
that has produced a bot named Sue. And a bot named Sue basically helps create agents, helps create any type of AI algorithm where you don't need IT staff and you don't need
Yes.
coders, you don't need anything. So that's one side of the equation. Then when you're a big company and you have cash and you have means to make loans and borrow money,
Yes.
then you can have data scientists. And with data scientists, you can create your own models and you can have programmers that will code for you, or you can use agents, as you said rightfully in the last question. You can use agents to create your own code and to create your own algorithms. And that's where you have two worlds. But the beauty of AI is it can be implemented anywhere. Can be implemented in a small company, even companies with like one person or two people in the company. A plumber could use AI to or AI agents at least to get its invoices out, to get when somebody doesn't pay its invoices, to make sure that at least you get calls to that person. Everything can be automated, and that's what's interesting with AI is really honestly any company, anyone in this world could now benefit AI to a degree or to another degree. It all depends on your means, and
Mhm.
that's where I see basically the big differences between the two types of the two worlds, if I can say that.
And speed, no, probably speed is another one. Now the
Well,
smaller companies tend to
well,
be
but
faster on the
true,
adoption,
but
no?
if you use low code, no code type of platforms, the speed is there as well. You can really create a. I've seen companies, especially in the organization, in government type of organizations. In Denmark, we're working with a company with a city hall, sorry, called
Yes.
Odense, and
Yes.
Odense has been able in less than 2 months to get a fully operated agent to help them triage their patients coming out of hospitals. So it's really speed is very important, but today with the tools, you can have speed whether you use your own staff or whether you use a platform that allows you to get fast development.
Well, 100%. I believe so. I think that when it comes to speed, I think that we're going to see a lot of entrepreneurs and startups coming together faster
True.
on no code, new platforms, AI agents deployment. But I think that
Yep.
we're going to see also from an enterprise a more agile transformation than we ever seen. So what is your take there?
No, I couldn't agree more with you. Definitely, it's you know, AI has that power is that it augments humans, right?
Yes.
And so when you couldn't be augmented by traditional ways of working, AI can help you be augmented because it's going to help you to understand what the market does. It's going to help you to understand the different type of environments you can find and all this. And so all this information will help you to get more productive. And that's it, totally in accordance with your point.
Yeah, and that goes to sales and costs. And normally, companies are very interested in both. No, so I think
Absolutely.
that's a fact. So, and connected with that, so many enterprise CMOs now struggle with data silos and legacy systems. How do you
Yeah.
see AI and specifically AI agents bridging these gaps? And what internal changes should they make, in this case, the market leaders and the CMOs, to prioritize and maximize AI agents' effectiveness?
Yeah, it is a great question because this is what I see every single day. So one of the biggest challenges in AI adoption for marketing is fragmented data. What I mean by that is many companies still operate with legacy systems that don't communicate with each other. So the old systems that really don't communicate with each other, leading to basically siloed data across
Yes.
different types of CRM, email marketing, sales platform, customer service, you name it. So AI agents, particularly AI-driven integration layers and middleware, what we call middleware, can bridge these gaps by unifying data sources without requiring any complete overhaul of existing infrastructure. And that's what's so important. So different types of technologies like AI-powered data lakes,
Mhm.
AI API-driven type of automation can integrate legacy systems, making data more accessible for real-time insights, and that's the key in bridging the gaps.
Mhm.
So, if you use data unification strategy, if you use AI literacy across teams, if
Yes.
you use agility, to your point earlier, over legacy thinking, then you're going to succeed.
Before we dive back into our conversation, we'd love to hear from you. Are you eager to highlight your marketing expertise and share your vision for the future of the industry in the age of AI? If so, we invite you to be a guest on the AI Marketing Transformation podcast. Reach out to us at info@thekeenfolks.com. We look forward to featuring the insights of marketing thought leaders like you in shaping the future in AI marketing transformation.
Yeah, that's and to build on what you just shared, what's on your perspective on the human side of this transformation? How should marketing teams actually evolve their collaboration models when working together downside with AI agents?
So the human side is basically the most challenging element because when you talk about the digital transformation project, you don't talk about technology. You talk about the change management project. Technology comes last, and that's what's so important to understand. So today, the human element is key because it needs to be not only bottom down and bottom up, but it needs to be across the company. So obviously, yes, you need to have a vision and you need to have a leader with a vision to make sure that at least the project starts on the right foot. But after that, you need to ensure that everybody is on board. And so,
Mhm.
to me, a very good digital transformation project is a step-by-step project where you start small. And for example, you implement an LLM. That's starting small, and you see how the marketing teams
Yes.
are going to react. Because the marketing teams, again, it's not to replace them, but it's to help them be more innovative, creative, uh, powerful in their messages. Because AI will say, "Well, hang on, yeah, this is a good message, but I would put it this way. What do you think?" Right? So it's not replacing you. It's like almost if you had a mentor within the company and the mentor doesn't replace you, the mentor is there to augment you.
Yeah.
Again, to the earlier point and the point we've been discussing, I think is probably the DNA of this conversation is the fact that you have data and you
Yes.
have an augmented tool at your service, not the other way around.
Yeah, it's very important the way that companies actually work on that transformation, because finally it's not about technology, it's about how actually you can deploy technology alongside with team transformation.
Absolutely.
Because if the team don't buy it and if they actually don't adopt it, it's very difficult for actually
It's
the companies to
impossible.
move on. So
I'm going to be very blunt about this. It's not difficult. It's impossible. I've tried.
yes, yes. So that's a key point. So coming back to the tech stack and how are you using actually the technology? What does your personal AI toolkit looks like now? Which AI agents or tools have you incorporated into your daily workflow, and how they have changed how your business looks like in a day-to-day basis?
So it started a long time ago, back in 2000, with Aibo, because I used to have an Aibo
Yes.
on my desk. And Aibo will tell me when there was an email coming, because Aibo, there was a program with Aibo, and Aibo will say, "Oh, you have an email." I say, "Oh, please read it." So I would do something else, and Aibo will read the email to me. So that was already, and I'm talking about 2000. So that was already AI helping me. Today, it has changed a lot, obviously. The tools I use today are ChatGPT and Cloud AI for research, brainstorming, drafting content. I talked about having a mentor next to me. That's what I use. So it helps me to be more productive and to have insights in a very non-timely manner, because I get it as I wish.
Yes.
I use also Notion AI and Otter AI, which are helping me with note taking, meeting transcriptions, knowledge management type of information. And then I use Midjourney and Runway machine learning for AI generated visuals and content experimentation in marketing. So that's also they've changed how I approach business strategy and marketing. And basically the changes if I could think about the changes that it has brought me, number one, much faster strategic insights. So
Yes.
it allows me to analyze industry trends at scale. I can identify patterns much faster than traditional research methods that I used to use when I was at Sony. It also augments me in terms of creativity. It helps me with to generate visuals, content ideas, and messaging, which will basically and I get also different type of messaging all the time, so that accelerate my innovation in branding and storytelling, because I can compare which one will be the best. And again, it's my decision at the end which one I'll use again. So it's not
Mhm.
replacing me; it's just helping me. And the last thing that it helps me with is the data-driven decision making, because it allows me to understand better my customer sentiment,
Yes.
the competitors' movements as well, and the industry shifts pretty much in real time if I wanted to. If I was in a very fast-moving type of industry,
Yes.
then I could get that in real time. So again, rather than replacing human expertise, they allow me to amplify or augment my ability to think critically, create and execute different type of strategies with much more precision than ever before.
Yeah, and to that point, I think that I would take the moment to refer OG.ai. So if I don't know if you already tried OG.ai, but
I have,
OG.ai is,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just about that. How actually you can connect from a third party data point of view, identify insights from a customer sales funnel point of view, understand your shopper persona, and how you connect with content strategies. I think.
exactly. I mean, for
Go,
for
go.
any for any different type of clients, basically, I will use different type of tools. The ones I just mentioned are the tools that I use the most, but I could use others also that obviously, and sometimes even like again, we talked about Salesforce in terms of CRM.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
use them for some of my clients as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think that the for your from your perspective as well, it's interesting to understand that even that I would say the current tools that you are using, they are transforming with AI capabilities, and I think that
Absolutely.
more and more we're going to see our tech stack expanding, not only with new tools, but actually the tools that we are using expanding themselves through AI capabilities. And I think that the next level, and this is what I'm right now, for example, working with, is on the automation automation side, there are the tools that are coming very strong, like N8N, that can allow you a lot of different automation and a lot of connection in terms of possibilities on creation of AI agents and specific functionalities altogether. And I think this will never this will not stop for the next, I would say, 1, 2, 3 years. And I think
I
that we
agree
have
with
a
you. Yeah.
long road ahead of us. So
It's
yeah.
hard to tell because in with technology, obviously, you don't know what you're going to see in the next 2 weeks or even 2 days. But I agree with you that in terms of these, because they are fundamental evolutions, that I agree with you that we're going to see that for the next year or two, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So for somebody that is a CMO, because I mean CMOs, marketing directors, all of them have a very short opportunity to actually learn about these things. So they
Sure.
learn by the interaction and by the understanding of what's happening in the market, but sometimes they don't know where they can look for references or resources. So so for enterprise CMOs that are preparing their teams for the AI agent revolution, what learning resources you recommend to stay ahead of this transformation? Like podcasts, books, events, courses. What are your reference plays in terms of knowledge?
All of the above, I would say
Yes.
that you mentioned. Now, seriously, you have fantastic courses on LinkedIn Learning, for example, that can be free. But if you have a if you're a LinkedIn and you pay for your LinkedIn subscription, sorry,
Yes.
then definitely you can use LinkedIn Learning resources, and they are great. They are in all languages, and when they are not in your language, they'll be translated into what you require. So this to me is fantastic. Going to event is fantastic as well because you can see trends. You can see also visions from fantastic entrepreneurs that have a vision that for you will be thinking outside of the box, and that's really important. Podcast. I participate in many podcasts. I listen to so many podcasts. Like, as soon as I'm in my car, I put the podcast on. As soon as I do anything, I go running or whatever, I put a podcast on. Very important to me.
Do you have
And
any? Do you have any that pops in your mind, like one of them that you are really into it?
I listen a lot to Nathaniel Schooler. He's an English guy and does can't remember the name. The thing is, I can hear his voice. I can remember all the content that I heard from him. But if you make a search
Yeah, I will.
on Google on Nat Schooler, Schooler, you'll hear a lot of great podcasts coming from him. There are
Cool.
many people. I would talk about yours as well, AI Marketing Transformation Podcast, which
Thank you,
also
Nicholas.
you can hear fantastic interviews. But there are so many that actually that's where the challenge is. Is where do you find the right one? And the best way to do it is listen to one, listen to two, and see if you can get some valid information out of that and some information that will be valuable to you. And if you do, then carry on. It's if it's a good podcast, it will carry on for a very long time, and that's why I see with many of the podcasts that I participate in or that I listen to.
Yeah. Any book that you have right now in your mind?
Uh, the book I'm reading right now is has nothing to do. Well, it has a lot to do. It's about Microsoft starters and how they
Oh,
started Microsoft with. So it's I mean, at least it's about innovation because at the time creating MS DOS was definitely a huge revolution. And like I would use the term revolution because I think what Bill Gates did was phenomenal. But his book about how he started and the source, I think it's called The Source, is a fantastic book that I'm really enjoying. But yeah, there are many books. Again, that's the biggest challenge is really how to find the book that's going to bring you value and making sure at least you learn things from that book. So it all depends about you and your personality and what you're looking for. So it's hard for me to say which one actually will be the best.
all right. Thank you very much, Nicholas. Um, So this is really fascinating. I would say the moment that we are living now, and looking ahead on what is happening. Is there something like a final idea or something that you would recommend? Okay, when leaders approach foundational technology like AI in their day-to-day, and they don't have any time to actually dedicate to that because they are in the overall operation?
Yeah. So that's their challenge, definitely, because if they don't commit any time to such an important evolution in their business, that it's going to be difficult for them to implement an AI-based system. But the type of advice I give to my clients is basically, one, to be resilient, because it's probably not going to work the first time, but be persistent. Continue to think that you can make it work. Employ the right type of people, and I'm not saying don't go into employing hundreds of consultants, or sometimes you have the right people working for you, but you don't realize it. So that's what's really important. And again, the advice that I gave earlier is step-by-step approach. Start small, celebrate small wins, and carry on, because then people will start buying into the transformation that the company will need to adopt. So that's basically what, following this type of advice, that's where I see a successful project being delivered.
Amazing, Nicolas. Thank you very much. So as we wrap up, let's recap some key insights from our conversation today. I liked a lot what you said, Nicolas. Spray. We come from an era where we were talking about spray and pray regarding all the campaigns that we are having. Right now, we have AI agents for customer segmentation and targeting, and these are bringing strong results on return on investment when we compare with traditional methods. So this is a key insight, and it's bringing a revolution in the way that we see the opportunity on bringing AI to marketing. Second, I think that Nicolas reminds us as well of what means a successful AI implementation and what are the requirements. We talk about solid data infrastructure, and we talked about as well how AI comes to solve some of that legacy systems connection with actually the reality and the possibilities of LLM. So it'll actually bring additional flexibility in order to break some of the silos that we have in the companies. And I think this is very important, alongside with humans, that basically without our teams, and actually without transforming the teams, we cannot transform the company. And I think that is a key point. And alongside with start small, I think I like a lot the approach on starting small. That is very important. And third insight that I would say that it's very important is how the CMOs should be open to external advisors to bring some knowledge that they cannot get in a day-to-day basis. Start small, getting back into that perspective that you just mentioned, and then celebrate small wins and carry on, because carry on is the most important thing. How you erase from actually your experience, and you keep carrying on in order to guarantee that you get to the transformation that is required. So, Nicolas, it has been a true privilege having you in the AI Marketing Transformation podcast.
Thank you.
For our listeners who want to connect with you or learn more about your work, what's the best way to reach you?
LinkedIn.
It's an easy one.
Absolutely. Let's make it easy for everyone.
Thank you, Nicolas, for sharing your expertise and insights with us today. For our listeners, don't forget to subscribe to the AI Marketing Transformation podcast for more conversations with leading thinkers at the intersection of marketing, AI, and business transformation. Until next time, stay curious and keep innovating.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the AI Marketing Transformation podcast. If you are a marketing leader who wants to tap into the most recent insights and innovative strategies in marketing and AI, be sure to subscribe. We appreciate your time and look forward to having you with us on the next episode.